Hi everyone. Um, so yesterday I was here live talking about my own personal experience of an eating disorder, and today I wanted to talk to you about what helped me in my own recovery. And I talked to you yesterday about denial and all the, sort of like the denial I had and how I didn't feel that I was anorexic, I guess. And so the first thing for me was definitely to accept the situation that I was in. It was to admit to myself that the eating disorder wasn't making me happy. It might have temporarily helped me, but actually with every passing day it became more tougher and torturous. And I knew that if I didn't do anything different, then it would all stay the same. Nothing would change. So acceptance was a big thing for me. And I guess it was realising as well that all the rules and the rituals that I was kind of like obsessing about, sort of like trying to follow in order to make me feel safe and in control, I actually didn't feel very safe or in control anyway. So that first accepting the situation was a big thing for me. And then also to have a goal, sort of think about what I wanted my life to ideally look like, how I wanted to feel, even if I couldn't imagine it, then at that point, just to have that goal, so that every time I kind of like sat down and I tried to sort of like, kind of eat my meal plan and kind of, do the work involved, I had something to kind of like work towards. But by saying that, I also needed to kind of just sort of like take little steps and just concentrate on one day at a time, or even less than that. The other thing is that, I thought about what my life would look like at, say I was 80 years old and I still hadn't kind of, sorted my life out, and I still hadn't kind of like, got to grips with the eating disorder and stuff. And I just thought about the regrets that I would have if I didn't sort of do anything. And I thought, well, okay, so think about those regrets that I have. Would I actually regret that I didn't lose more weight? Would I actually regret that, I'd kind of, I don't know, sort of like hadn't exercised enough or anything like that? Or would I be regretting that, I hadn't lived my bloody life to the fullest that I could possibly do? Oh, hi Stacey, thanks for joining me. And I just thought, yeah, it would. I'm sure that it would be, if I could get to that stage. I know it was really difficult for me to think of anything else right then, but to try and get out of this head as it was and just think about if I was 80 years old and what my regrets would be. And I thought then I had that opportunity that I could change things. I didn't have to wait until I was 80 years old and I, had all those regrets. I could choose to change now. And it's not easy. I'm not saying that it's easy. But, that helped kind of like motivate me, I guess. And the biggest thing, as I've always said, is I learned EFT, tapping, and I worked on all my negative beliefs that I had about myself, all the feelings of feeling worthless and unlovable and fat and ugly and not good enough and inferior to everybody else, and that I always got it wrong, and all these sorts of things that I kind of beliefs that I had about myself, and worked on all the past memories that were kind of supporting those beliefs, all the times that felt that I'd been rejected, times that I felt I'd been hard done by, and things had happened to me, and oh, it's not fair, and all of these things. I was blaming it on other people, because blaming people is, it's all right, actually, because then you don't have to take responsibility for yourself and your thoughts and feelings. And I do believe that it's not about what happens to us in life, it's how we react to it. You know, we have no power over what happens to us, but we do have power over what happens to us. And actually that, you know, can feel quite empowering then. And by doing that work, it really did transform how I felt about myself. You know, got rid of those negative beliefs, and I really felt good about myself. You know, I could almost see myself as other people were seeing me, rather than with this bloody voice in the head kind of convincing me that I was shite and, you know, I was worthless and you know, nobody would think anything of me, you know, if I didn't kind of like carry on doing these sort of like rules and rituals and losing weight and all that kind of stuff. You know, it's all bollocks. Sorry, excuse my French again. It really is all bollocks. And it's only now that I can see that. But, you know, I guess it's just that sort of process that you need to go through and finally look back and see how, you know, completely overwhelming it feels at the time, and how sort of like trapped you feel at the time, you know, and you feel like you can't get out of it. You know, you have no blooming clue how to get out of it. And there's a part of you that doesn't even know if you want to get out of it, but you know, you can do something. You can choose to kind of want to get better, and then just keep taking steps towards that. You know, don't think about too far in the future, because that can get really overwhelming, but just keep taking steps in order to get there, and celebrate every bit of progress that you make. You know, don't be focusing on all the slip-ups that you make and things like that, because they are natural. They're going to happen. But it's about celebrating that progress and seeing, you know, how well you are doing. And often it is a case of a few steps forward, a few steps back, but that's all right. That's okay, because at least you're going in the right direction overall. So, and often people sort of ask me, yeah, but you know what, is recovery really possible? Can, you know, there's so many people that say, you know, yeah, but it's always something that's with you. And I think it is in the early days, you know, and it's a gradual thing. But you know what, if you continue to work on yourself, continue to sort of get rid of any sort of like negative stuff, because we all have crap that happens to us in our life, and you know, and there's things that I can get stressed about now, and I've often said about, you know, my two teenage daughters, you know, and I could get stressed and that with that, but I now feel that I have all the tools and the techniques and that to know that I can handle it. I feel like I am, you know, in control of my life to, you know, as much as I can be. I know that no matter what happens to me, I can deal with it in a more empowering way, in a more healthy way. I don't need that eating disorder now in order to make me feel better, in order to help me cope, in order to help me feel in control, because I feel fine as I am. You know, I feel confident in myself, I feel empowered, I feel, you know, that I like myself, and I think that I'm a good person and that, but I never would have thought that before. Absolutely not a chance. And so again, I will say it, if I can do it, then so can you. And I'll say it again, I have no superpowers. I'm not supernatural or anything like that. I don't have this kind of like magic wand that I've taken out of my pocket. You know, it's not easy. I'm not going to lie, it's not easy. But it is definitely possible, and my God, it's so worth it. My life, like I say, has completely transformed in every area of my life. And I am, so glad that I decided to do that work in order to, to take those steps. And that's all I wanted to sort of share with you today. So, like I said, if I can do it, so can you. Tomorrow I'll be live again and talking to you about my online program and just letting you know how that could benefit you and giving you some information and some details on that. So I'll be back again tomorrow, and until then, sending lots of love and hugs. All right, take care. Bye-bye.